on today.
Amen.
And you were asking about the songs, and I know one of mine, I can't remember the artist and all, but it's Let Me Touch You and See If You Are Real.
That's the Kirk Franklin.
Okay, Let Me Touch You and See That You Are Real. That's an awesome song right there. Amen. So we just thank God, like I said, even though it's raining, he has to bless the earth with the rain.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. So, let's get into this. I would like to start by asking a question. Let's see. Do you remember the last time you stared off into space in deep thought? And do you remember what that was? You know how you can see somebody and you look at them and you be like, okay, I wonder what they thinking about. Because they not here. They here, but their mind is not here.
Right.
You know, they're off somewhere else. They thinking about something that's keeping them from where they at and taking them to where they want to be. Amen. So we don't know what one another do every day on a daily basis. I know we would love to think that it's always thinking about the Lord, but it's not. It's not. Let's be real, right? But there's something else, something that follows us everywhere we go, something that we won't share. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it is with me. I'm not going to ask you today, but I will say this. For most of us, it keeps us up at night. It has us out late at night. It beats on us. It hurts us. It loves us. Sometimes it leaves us, but it always comes back. It comes to church with us. It eats our needs and feeds our wants. It takes from us and looks for more. And I'm still not going to tell you what it is for me. And you don't have to tell me what it is for you. But I will tell you this. It's always with us because it's our secret sin. And that's the title of this message, our secret sin. And quite frankly, we must love it if it's still there. We think about it as much as we think about the Lord, and maybe even more. We wrestle with this thing, and we won't let it go. So in Genesis 32:24 and 26, that states that, and Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled the man with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. So Jacob was wrestling with this spirit, and the spirit said, let me go. But Jacob wouldn't let him go. He wrestled with something that he did not necessarily know what he was wrestling with, and he would not let it go. They wrestled all night. In that, verse 30 states that Jacob was wrestling with God, and his life was preserved, but who or what are you wrestling with? Amen? All right? What you wrestle with could determine your walk. See, Jacob, he was able to get up and limp away, right? But will you be able to get up from that secret sin? So God preserved Jacob, but will your secret preserve you? Will you get up or die there? Amen. It could wrestle you right out of your faith, or it could delay your walk for years. So sometimes people can be called young and they can grasp that young. Then sometimes we just fight and wrestle with it all the way up until we're in the fourth quarter. And then we get it. I really wish I had got there early so I could serve him a lot longer. But I thank God for him bringing me where I am today to be able to serve him. Amen. All right, so I'm just going to give you a brief description. In 2 Samuel chapter 11, it describes David seeing a beautiful Bathsheba from his rooftop. And while she was bathing, he was on his rooftop and he was looking down on her as she was bathing. And that was the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of David's soldiers. So David sent for her, and David slept with her. David gets Bathsheba pregnant and sets up Uriah to be killed in battle. So he had to try to hide his secret. So look what he had to go to. And look what he did just to hide a secret. The things we do to hide our secrets. See, David was not only a great king, he also was a murderer, an adulterer, a lustful man. These are a couple of David's secret sins. What are yours? God knows your secret, and most likely someone else knows it too. It's not the obvious sin that one can see when one wears it on their shoulder. The one that's like every day when you see somebody coming, you know what they're about. You know what they're going to say or do. Not like Moses in Numbers 20 when he showed his anger towards the stiff-necked people when Moses struck the rock for the water when God told him to speak to him for the second time. Not like Saul in 1 Samuel in chapter 13 when he became impatient waiting on Prophet Samuel and did the sacrifice himself. That's obvious. Those aren't secrets. It's no secret that Daniel, myself, needs to watch what comes out of his mouth if he lets the flesh take over. It's no secret that if you hit me, I ain't gonna say nothing. Okay. Here you go. All right. But your secrets will be found out. In 2 Samuel 12, 1 through 7. Okay? And the Lord sent Nathan unto David. And he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up. And it grew up together with him and with his children. It did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And we know how we love our children. He loved that lamb like that. He loved that lamb. You wouldn't give that lamb away for nothing. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and he spared to take of his own flock, and of his own herd, to dress for the wayfaring man that was coming to him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for the man that come to him. So he's going to take somebody else's stuff, somebody else, something somebody else loves. He didn't have no regard for somebody else at all. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the land fourfold because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said, David, thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord God of Israel. And he goes on to talk about how he anointed him and how he gave him things. But David had the nerve to get mad at what he thought somebody else did when you did it. Sometimes it's you.
That's right.
Come on. Don't keep blaming somebody else or think somebody else can do something and you can't. No. Your secret will find you out. Amen. So how dare rich David take from poor Uriah? God let David know what his secret was, and so and he let someone else know that also. It was never hid from God. David had to be judged on his hidden sin. So God said, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house. So David's own sons started rebelling against him, doing some things. My. Take his wives and give them to other men. They shall lie with them, thy wives, in the sight of the sun. So David David's son was laid with the concubines, the wives, right? And for everyone to know. David's secret caused him great disgrace and the death of his child. What will your secret sin bring unto you and your family? Will your secret affect your family? Will it bind your family with generational curses? Because what you do is going to trickle down. And what our parents did and our grandparents and our forefathers did trickle down to us. So we will do to our children if we don't watch what we do or stop what we do and change the way. Yes, Lord. It is your secret. Is your secret dealing with you right now? How about this? If you don't want it to be known, then stop it. Let's change it around right now, because if we continue winning, it will be known. It will come forth. And if we keep it, there's always consequences to things we do. So those consequences will tell them. Amen. You know why we don't like people to pop up at our house unannounced? Come on, for some of us. Amen. Because you don't want to they don't give you time to clean up your secrets. Amen. So just think about that day someone knocked on your door when you was in the middle of your secret. And I'm sure we all can think of that time somebody knocked on the door and you're going to look at that people. Oh, I ain't answering that right now. I can't do that. Yeah, Because if we wasn't doing anything, we could always look at people and say, hey, that's such and such, that's what we're doing. But no, it's y'all. Amen. So I'm just going to give a couple of scriptures talking about hiding, as far as Luke 12:2. Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Numbers 32:23. But if you will do not so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Luke 8:17. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. We thank God that David didn't die with that secret and then be judged. Big or small, most sins has consequences. It's very scary to think that it could be you that hears Matthew 7:23. And that is, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. That's some scary stuff. We don't want to wait till we get there. That keeps me straight. That keeps me straight. I done did all of this and I got here and you saying I did. Then he's gonna show you everything you did wrong. Everything you all your secrets that you got judged on. You got judged on those secrets. He's gonna show you every bit of it. And then what you gonna do. See, the devil is trying to steal, kill, or destroy your calling. Satan will surely accuse you and attach himself to what you have through your sin. Satan will surely have his hand in all that your sin has given you. David knew he was wrong and accepted his judgment. And he, as he realized that his child did die, he got up, cleaned himself up, and straightened his act. So God is faithful and just to forgive us. Pray and seek him, turn from our secret sins. David repented. As you can see it in Psalms 51, you can read that repentance of David. Proverbs 28:13, whoever conceals his transgressions will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy. So we need to speak on mercy. We must get some bad things out in order to get some good things, and vice versa. And sometimes we need to get some good things in order to push some bad things out. We need to cleanse ourselves. You know, like a car radiator, how they, when they flush it, they put that the hose there and they'll flush it and flush all the bad stuff out just to get some of that good stuff.
I was like, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
Well, they sit out there while they do it.
Okay, well that's how that's how I did it in the old school. We shoved that hose up top, opened the bottom up, and flushed it out. Flushed it all out until it came out clean.
That's how you know all the dirt was
That's
up.
how you know it was all clean. Then you put some of that good radiator, put that good stuff in there, you looking good, and you feel good. You be like, it rides different. It rides different because it was cleansed. It rolled different. When you get your oil changed, when you get your air in your tires, rides, it's just something different. Amen. Amen. All right, so we need to cleanse ourselves of some things that are holding us back from our blessings or moving into the kingdom, from us moving into the kingdom. What is in you? So, or on your mind that you keep from putting God first. So something is on our mind at all times that we're not putting God first. What is that? And we know on a regular basis, and I'm not going to ask you what that is, and I'm not going to tell you what it is with me. But we're going to work on it, right? We are wrestling with something that is taking precedence over us giving God our full attention. You may not even recognize some of the sins, but we got to pray on that and find out. So it won't be on our back during our judgment. See, it could be things like a spirit of haughtiness, which is pride. It could be like seducing spirits, spirit of error, spirit of bondage, spirit of hoardism, spirit of anger. We must do spiritual warfare on these type of things, and we must learn how to pray on them, bind them up. We must learn how to stop letting it take control over us, because we were given the power to take control of it. When doing spiritual warfare, we must stay humble, fear not, walk by faith, use the authority, bind and loose. You can look at Matthew 12:29. Remember, God is greater. Continue to grow spiritually. We must reach out to someone we trust, and we must jump, stomp, and plead the blood over this bondage together. Matthew 18:18 states, "Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever you shall bind on loose on earth shall be loosed in the heavens." And 18:19 says, "Again I say unto you that if two of us shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven." So if we continue to come to church, we pray together like we should, and if you have issues, we need to reach out to the people that we know we can trust to help us pray and get this thing off of us. So we just stay in fellowship. Let's take control of what's promised to us, and let's be delivered from these different secret sins. So that's going to conclude my message, and I just thank God for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak on the secret sins. We all have them, but that don't have to stop us from doing right. I know for myself, God didn't let me wallow in it. I may have went through several things. That's because one of my secret sins was I was a very hard-headed, stubborn guy. Very, and I didn't want to listen. So when he took me through all the fights, the stabbings, the getting shot, head being split open, all the worries of what I had to put my parents through, all of that, and many, many more, I'm not going to tell you, you ain't got to tell me what it is with you, but with all of that, I had the conscience and the understanding, the discernment, the conviction to know that the Lord was saying, stop, come on, come back. And that's what I chose to do with the help of my church here. I appreciate every last one of you here. I thank you all for all you have done. And we just continue to praise the Lord and be in fellowship in the way we do. And we all will beat our sins. Amen? Amen. Thank you.
So what did it look like when he was fighting that spirit, like or again, you don't have to share what it is, but maybe use one of the older ones, like one of the ones you did say that you dealt
As
with.
far as fighting it. All right, so I tell you what. One time I was out alcohol, and one time I was out. You know, it's amazing. Our sins we want to put on and had other people join in with us. So I had the money, so I shared it with everybody else. My sin. Let's drink up, it's on me. But guess what? When I woke up in the morning, I was alone on a porch somewhere.
By yourself, yeah.
Alone. I woke up like, oh, it was daylight. It wasn't 6 a.m., 7. It had to be about 9 or 10. So people knew I was still out there. But I was alone. Amen. So, as I'll give you another one. I was at a bar with a friend, and we were doing a lot of everything you shouldn't do. And I had got behind the wheel. Stopped at a red light, and I fell asleep there. My foot came off the pedal. It was a 4-way intersection. So my car goes through the 4-way intersection. This is in Philly. This is a busy 4-way intersection. Police station is right here. I'm on that corner. Police station is right here. Jumped the curve, hit a pole, smashed the car. My buddy hit his head on the windshield. I was able to start it up. I took it up, right? But when I look at those things and then I look at the other 100 things that I can remember, I knew that I was battling something that I needed to take control of. So at that time, I tried. At that time, I knew God, but I was not walking in it at all. But I did battle that. So in my marriage of 20 years, I recognized how it was. I had to have it every day. It would change my attitude, things that I was frustrated. You know, sometimes we get frustrated over righteous things. We have a reason to get frustrated and mad, but it's the way you deal with it. So when I dealt with it in the wrong manner. And so towards the end of that marriage, bless her, she was a beautiful woman. She is a beautiful woman. But at the end of it, you know, I realized this is a spiritual battle. This is bigger. This is not one. I started turning to him, but as I turned to him, and she even mentioned, "Oh, I prayed the words of God." That's because sometimes He's gonna have to take you away, isolate you, to really straighten you out, and you're gonna have to go through things. But the beauty of it all, when you can look back and say, you know, He preserved you. He did it. Amen. So that is some of the battles and how I dealt with it. I had to go through, but at the end of the day, I knew I had to get back on the right path. I knew that He preserved me all of these years to get to where I'm at today. And He's not going to stop. He you know, not all that long ago, I had another battle that took me to the left. But guess what? When we know Him, He got your back, and He's going to put you back on the straight and narrow path that you belong, and we're going to continue to serve Him. Amen.
Like anything else.
Anybody else have any questions?
Amen.
That controlling the thing is, did you know something? That controlling the thing is something. And what happens is the enemy tries to make you think it's like in the beginning with Adam and Eve, when they messed up, they hid themselves.
Yeah.
So we start to hide, like we were talking about, like one of the songs talking about my hiding place. When we have to make Him our hiding place, even when we're wrong.
Yes.
So when I mess up, I give Him my sin. I give it to Him. I say,
Yes.
Yeah.
you knew I was going to do this. We talked about that sometimes.
Yeah.
You knew I was going to do this. So because if not, the inclination is to cover yourself.
Yes. Yes.
That's
And
lying
as
and
soon as
all
you
that.
cover yourself, then you took him out of the picture.
Yes.
Yeah, so we wanna run to him.
And we mess it up when we try to cover
When we try to
ourselves.
cover
So we
it.
blame
Yeah.
It starts to
everybody.
compound then.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm lying, I'm stealing, I'm cheating
Yes.
to cover up what I did.
Yes.
Like this guy.
Yes.
Like David.
Yeah, just like
Yes.
David.
Yes. He had to do a lot of wicked stuff to, in order to cover
It
up.
got worse.
Worse. He was a friend. He was a warrior. And you left him out. Like they left me on the porch. I did, but I forgive him.
After you spent your money.
After I didn't spend my money, but I
In the
forgive him.
house.
I did that. So I forgive them. I can't blame everybody. I can't blame people for the things I've done. I can't blame for the fights and different things that happened to me. I was out doing stuff. What keeps you up at night? I was up late at night. I should have been in the house asleep. But I was up late at night doing things. So it will catch up with you. And what was my consequences for some of those things? This and the other things I mentioned.
Nah, you
Well,
don't.
amen. He keeps you because some people you can see the ruggedness that they went through. But he had, and that's another thing. When you know he preserved you, when you know he got you, that's why when we come in, we gotta praise him. Like, you know, when I'm home and the tears flow, you know, a lot of people wouldn't. They tend to want to look at me funny when they cry, but not when you cry into the Lord, because the love is just so great that it's no way that I can't praise him enough. Or come in and stand and do what I'm supposed to do to give him all that glory.
It reminded me of a scripture, I think it's in Lamentations, it says, it was the Lord's mercies that we were not consumed, where is our faithfulness? Every morning is new mercies.
Amen. That's right. That's what. Just even though it's raining outside, that don't mean anything. That's part of him. That's part of his nature. You know, he's cleansing some stuff out there right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He has a compassion, even in our wrong, he's still compassionate. He
Yes.
still cares.
Yes,
He
he does.
wants to fix it.
Yeah.
So it's more like, he gives us warnings and chances and chances.
Chances.
Long suffering.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's long
Yes.
suffering. Because
Yes.
that mercy is like his loving kindness.
Yes.
And that draws us. When you hear stuff like this, it should make us say, okay, it's safe to go to God.
Amen.
Because this is his compassion and love when he can just cut you off. And for most of us, it ain't the first time anyway.
And
So
let me
here he is again, saying, okay, I'll give you another chance. Because, he's so compassionate. And every morning when we wake up, it's a new mercy. It's just there. We didn't have to ask for it. It's just like whatever we did and spent that, he got more.
Yeah.
Every morning is brand new. His mercy, his compassion, and his care. And I love the fact that he'll cover you while you trying to figure out what to do with yourself.
Yes. You know, one of the hardest things to deal with when he's disciplining you is when he steps aside from you. You
He's
feel
quiet,
him
he's
like
quiet.
that.
Yeah.
I get scared when that happens.
Yeah.
And you coming back?
Yeah.
That's good.
Are you coming back? 'Cause, you know, the other thing we wrestle with, it always come back.
Right.
God, are you gonna come back? Because I know when he will step aside and lead me to, you know how he'll step aside so he'll see what you're gonna do. You still staying faithful. When he step aside, that's a scary thing. So we definitely have to we have to keep prayed up, and a lot of people don't. I don't know how to pray for hours, but I pray all day. So that adds up. But that's all we have to do. We just got to keep them in mind. That's all we do, and that's a lesson for me too. Because I know when I had went through my last situation, I was so convicted and condemned that I didn't keep him first. My mother said, "Damn, keep things decency and in order." Yeah, I hear you, ma. Click. And was doing everything else. So if we keep him first, then we will be able to keep things decent and in order. And it will come out. At the end, he brought me out, but I gave the adversary a reason to accuse me. See? You ain't what you say you are. No, I am. You came in and chipped away and started trying to change me. I'm who I say I am.
That's what you need to remember right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am who he said I am. So if we keep him first and do decent things in decent order, he's going to bring you through and you're going to feel better about it. You ain't going to have to fight against the condemnation. You're not going to have to fight against the guilt. You ain't have to fight against any of that. Because you're going to come out and you're going to know he did it, not you. See, I did it. See, I did it and I felt guilty about how I did it because I did it in the flesh. So
Yeah,
I just said, God,
Does he really leave us?
no, he never leaves. He just stepped
He just
aside.
steps
He just
aside
steps aside
to see what you're gonna do.
to see what you're going to do.
See
To
what
see
you're
how.
gonna do,
Are-
yeah.
are
I'm
you-
just saying,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's still in the dark. He's in the dark with
He's
you.
still there.
He's still there, but he just stepped aside to see if you still staying faithful. He's not going to let you go out and hurt yourself or put yourself on a path that he can't. That he's not going to be there. It's just he just steps aside to make sure that you will do what you promised.
But he says, I never leave
But
you nor
he's-
forsake
He ain't leave. He right there.
And he didn't never leave.
He right there.
He didn't leave.
He went like this. You want to do what?
you. I just want y'all to explain it.
Well,
He
they,
just wants to see.
I see what you're saying, but yeah,
He said that
it feels bad when he steps aside.
When he
When it
steps
feels
aside.
like he's not there.
There.
It feels like it because
it feels like to you he's not there, but he's there.
correct.
Because of your condemnation.
Correct.
You feel like he left.
Amen.
But in true honesty,
He's still there.
he's still there.
Yes,
He's still
indeed.
with you.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
But you're
indeed.
just so consumed by what you
You've
do.
done
What I'm
Yeah.
wrestling
You feel
with.
like he left.
Yes,
Or it
indeed.
feels
And-
like he left.
True, and depending on what kind of test he's taking you through or what type of build up he's giving you, sometimes he feels like he left, but he's just trying to see that we are strengthened in his word. And so if I felt because of my condemnation that he left, then I know even though I mess up in the flesh, I still know I'm gonna have to go back to here and find out where I'm at. What he told me I am states right here. This is where I'm gonna go back to. Amen.
The whole, well, almost the whole collection of Psalms speaks of God, where you at? Where you at, God? Don't let them cake me.
Right,
Don't
right,
let
right.
them kill me. So, I mean, it's a common thing to feel like
That
he's not there. You know what I mean? Even whether I'm condemned or maybe I'm just not having a good day, where you at? I don't sense you. And I think sometimes he does that so that we're not attacked. Because, we like to feel good.
Mhm.
And it's more of what you know. If the Bible talks about Jesus was able to save many by his knowledge. It didn't feel good with him being on that cross. So he couldn't sit on the cross and be up there and feel good.
Mhm.
He felt bad, he was in pain. But he knew what he came to do and he knew who his father was. In that situation where nothing is, I'm not condemned, I didn't sin, but I just don't sense God. I just don't sense you here. And that's when you have to go, like you just said, go in your word and remind yourself, because it says in James that if you resist the devil, and you draw nigh unto God, he's going to draw nigh unto you. So if it doesn't seem like he's not there, why am I drawing nigh to him? So, you know what I mean? There's
Yes, indeed, I
distances.
do.
I'm with him, but he over there. So I need to go there where he is.
You got that smile. You go. That's good.
So
Who moved? Okay, amen. So you saying did he step aside or did I step aside? That's what you asking?
Sometimes nobody. Sometimes nobody. It's just I don't feel it. But he's there. He didn't move.
So-
I'm just not operating in my clear.
So when Jesus was on the cross, he cried out to his Father, right? He wasn't there at for a moment, right? That's how I feel.
because he said it.
He said it, right. So now let me ask you this: who moved? But he didn't sense it. But he didn't sense him though, right?
Because what was going on with him,
So,
and he didn't like it, and he wanted him to, why you letting me go through this and not take it away from me? So he feels like he's not with me.
that's
Because of what
that
you're
was
going
it.
through, it makes you
Feel
feel
like
like
he's not
he ain't there.
Right.
Because you have an expectation he's not being met. So you feel as though, I'm not saying this is carte blanche across the board.
No, I
I'm not
understand.
saying that. Because every situation is different.
Mhm.
And I felt like that.
Yes.
I'm just having a conversation.
And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let the spirit
I
move.
think all that, everything y'all saying is absolutely correct.
Awesome.
Just a thought that came.
So what do you do when you feel like you don't feel?
That's all of us.
What do you do when you feel like you don't feel God? Since we know he's the God that hides, what do you do?
At the end of the day, we always got to go back to
I
this.
say,
Keep doing what you're doing.
And you
well,
say,
He's
find
there.
out
He's there.
where if I said the way.
Right, right, what did I do wrong?
He's always there. It's just on the side, just chilling.
Because he doesn't want you to fail,
no.
he doesn't want you to fail.
And then sometimes it be seeming like, you know, what's going on? But it's at the end of it, when you put it all together, you have learned so much from it. And I was able to smile out of everything today. I'm smiling because of all I went through. And you know what? We wish we can go back and straighten out some things. No, I'm fine. I'm here today because he placed me here today. I don't want to go through all of that. Because you know, you can go back in your right, you can go back with what you know now, then actually it's going to come at you in a whole nother way. And you still going to feel like you're starting all over again. Because when I went through one of my last serious situations, it took my prayer from me. It took my everything from me, even worshiping. It took it a lot from me. So I thought I knew what I knew. So it don't matter. You can go back and learn anything you know. He'll come at you a whole nother way where you didn't, oh, I didn't study this part of the battle. I don't know what's going on with this battle right here. I thought I knew enough. So,
And that's the point of having a relationship with him. So you know that this is something, it's not form. This is something that he does do. You know, it is not for like, he's not there sometimes. You know, I am gonna mess up and he's gonna be a faithful friend. He said a friend's the closer than a brother. He's gonna be there for me no matter what. And even to your point, and even when I mess up, it's still his grace, because anytime that I humble myself before him, grace is activated. So even in my consequences and doing the consequences of what I did, we were just talking about this yesterday. He's still gonna give me the grace to go through what I gotta reap.
amen.
I'm reaping this, but he gives me the grace to go through. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I'm with him, because I humbled myself. With him, I ain't never gotta go through nothing alone. He said, I'll never leave you, and I'll never forsake you. I'll never leave you, meaning I'm always there. Forsake you, meaning you're gonna always have my access to my power. You're gonna always have access to my arsenal.
And we have to realize that we have to work on our change. We can't just
Amen.
have the prayer without that work. We have to put the work in, and we have to not continue to blame other people. I had done that before in my days where I totally blamed somebody else. But then later I realized that no, Dan, you had something to do with that too. So we have to realize that we can't keep blaming everybody else. If we was to look and see what the word said about what we were doing, then we straighten ourselves out. Because a lot of times we stir up the pot and we ain't need to stir the pot up. We made it worse. And once again, somebody can come at you wrong, but then how do you deal with it? It's going to be the total outcome at the end of the day. And that's one of the big things that I had to learn. It's the way you deal with it. And he tells you how. Now we know that everybody is a work in progress. We know we're not, perfected. But still, some things need to be in the front and use wisdom in it. We need to use wisdom when we deal with certain